Well, there was a much more relaxed start to the day's action and a chance for most of the peloton to recharge their batteries after a couple of intense days in the mountains. Only 3 men in the breakaway, all of them Spanish. Sergio Samitier of Cofidis is the local star and even went through his hometown of Barbastro at kilometre 11, a nice early birthday present before turning 30 tomorrow. He was joined by 2 riders from the wildcard teams, José Luis Faura in the purple of Burgos, a Grand Tour debutant, and Joan Bo in the white and green of Caja Rural. This is Vuelta number 4 for the man who wore the polka dot jersey for one day back in 2022. The leading trio were given a maximum gap of around 4 minutes, with the average speed creeping up to 40 kilometres an hour. After 3 wins in 3 days, UAE are up to 76 for the season. That puts them just 9 short of the all-time record of 85 set by Colombia HTC in 2009, and that also included 3 in a row at La Vuelta. The peloton keeping the gap steady at around 3.5 minutes, with Bahrain victorious up towards the front with their race leader Thorstein Train. In front of them, Alpecin de Koenig, Israel Premier Tech and Lidl Trek were sharing the pacing duties. Slowly but surely the bunch began to reel the 3 escapees back in, the urgency increasing as they approached Zaragoza. The peloton finally hitting speeds of over 50 kilometres an hour as they got set for the intermediate sprint in Peñaflor, with the gap dropping to around 2 minutes. The breakaway riders had no particular interest in the green jersey points, but there would still be 13 and 10 available for the next 2 men over the line from the peloton. Mads Pedersen once again helping himself ahead of Ethan Vernon.
Mads Pedersen is going to pick up the 13 points.
The riders were soon making their way into Zaragoza for one lap of the final circuit. That meant the sprinters and their lead-out men would get a first look at the finish line. It was only a matter of time for the breakaway, who now led by just 30 seconds. Faura even decided to call it a day before they went over the line, and Samitier and Bo would soon be swallowed up as well.
The 2 riders there caught by the peloton, Sergio Samitier and Joan Bo, are caught. It's all back together and heading for a bunch sprint.
The peloton really upping the tempo on these wide roads around Zaragoza. The sprint zone was extended today until 5k to go, but even so, GC teams like Visma Lease Bike were fighting at the front to avoid any crashes or mishaps. They eventually moved aside though to let the fast men take centre stage.
Here's Mads Pedersen, who's trying to get through. The sprint is already starting to come. Brian Cockard trying to move forward. Elia Viviani has got his nose in the front. He's coming to the line. Is it going to be Viviani? It's going to be a throw to the line. A photo finish. Philipsen throws his hand in the air. He believes he's got it. But what a close finish in Zaragoza.
Alpecin de Koenig only have 16 wins this year to UAE's 76, but they include stages of all 3 Grand Tours plus 2 monuments. Philipsen left it late today, but once again showed he is the fastest man in town, taking his 2nd victory of the race and his 5th of the season.
Did everything go as you wanted today?
Yeah, we won, so then we cannot complain. Every Grand Tour win is always a special one, and it's never easy. You suffer a lot of days in the mountains to get here, and yeah, from now on it's also going to be a tough Vuelta, but with 2 wins it always makes it a bit more easy.
Philipsen taking the day with both Viviani and Cockard relegated for an irregular sprint. That pushed Vernon and Marit up to 2nd and 3rd, with Pedersen finally inside the top 10. Thorstein Train stayed out of trouble today and leads the race by 2 minutes and 33 seconds from Jonas Vingegaard. Pedersen could only manage 9th on the stage, but his efforts at the intermediate sprint means that he holds green by 9 points from Vernon and 15 from Philipsen. No climbs today, so Jay Vine is still in polka dots. He and Juan Ayuso even sat up in the final to lose more time overall. And Giulio Pellizzari remains 27 seconds clear of Matthew Riccitello at the top of the youth classification. The long first week concludes tomorrow with a summit finish on Val d'Escaray. Join us for that on Sunday, and thanks for watching.